Hi, I'm Janine Mikosza and I'm an author. My book is a memoir called Homesickness. It's published by Ultimo Press and it's about the infallibility of memory. I returned to my childhood homes literally and in my imagination. I wanted to see what I could remember because I believe that houses and rooms hold memories. They contain memories and they make us who we are. It is a memoir because that is on the cover. I initially saw it as creative nonfiction, but my publisher said, well, memoir is creative nonfiction and it's about you, so it's memoir. I started writing Homesickness at the end of 2013. And I had a few notes and a few floor plans drawn of my houses because I lived in 14 houses before I was 18 years old. And I wanted to see what I could remember. So that's how it started. And I was interested in how people talk about their childhood homes and how they draw their childhood homes. What comes up? I didn't know how I wanted to write it. I thought I would be writing about other people, maybe interviewing other people and talking to them about their houses. But I realised that because the idea dictates the form, and I realised it kept coming back to me. So I thought, I'm going to have a conversation with myself. So I used a fictional technique to split the narrator into two and to have one person, I, the interviewer, interviewing Janine, myself. I was interested in targeting people who, writers and readers who are interested in form, like tackling and playing with form, grappling with big ideas about memory and who we are and our sense of self. Basically that's it. And any other readers, I welcome. No, I also work as a research assistant for various universities and professors around Australia. And that's how I can afford to keep writing. Where is your favourite place in all the world and why? The Nullarbor Plain in Australia, because I've driven across it 9 times and also been on the train a fair few times because I have family and friends in WA and I was born there. There's a place in the Great Australian Bight where you can go right up to the cliffs and look over them into the water and hear the waves crashing on the rocks. That is my perfect place. That's my favourite place. When I was younger, I wanted to be a vet or a marine biologist and an artist. Then I got into art school and I studied sculpture and photography. And I was writing all the way through this, keeping diaries, writing notes, writing little stories. But it wasn't until 2009, after I'd done a PhD in sociology on the way, to that I wanted to take my writing seriously. So I spent a long time working on craft and doing workshops and reading a lot, as I had done anyway, sending out short stories and essays. And it wasn't until the end of 2013 I decided I want to try writing a book. And that's how I ended up here. I have a writing group. I have a workshop group. In 2019, I asked the American author Sarah Centillas to be my mentor. I worked with her for 1.5 years on this book, and she helped me finish it. So I met with her once a month. I got a grant to pay her. And we talked through all the ideas in the book. She read chapter by chapter. And then at the end of that, I gave it to an agent who was interested, and she took me on straight away. And her name's Melanie Ostel, and she's also an editor, a very good editor. So we worked on the manuscript over, I think it was 2020 in lockdown. And at the beginning of 2021, I signed with Ultimo Press with Robert Watkins. He's a dream publisher. And so that's how it got to the editing stage. But lots of people along the way, my partner, my son, friends, my writing group, workshop group, just all contributed, as many people always do to a book. I guess I did have a first draft and I didn't show anyone because it was embarrassing and messy and I didn't know what it was. And I didn't want anyone's voice another person's voice to intrude on the manuscript and the ideas. So I worked on it for quite a while, for many years, and then I gave it to my partner to see what he thought. And he thought, I think you've got something here. And I workshopped individual chapters with my writing groups and then sent the entire manuscript off to Sarah Centellis. And that's when somebody read the entire thing. So that was 2019. Well, the writing of the book took so long because there were quite a few traumatic memories in the book itself. So because traumatic memory is fragmentary, I was basically trying to stitch together both my life and a narrative. So there were times when it was too much and I needed a break. So this might be days, weeks, even months, just stepping away from the manuscript itself. It was a very hard thing to write. And I was glad when it was done. Have you ever had writer's block? No, I don't believe in writer's block. I think you just need time to sit and think and daydream and relax and do other things, because when I am stuck on something, it's time for me to step back and get into that daydreaming phase or stage. Give myself a break. A couple, I can say Toni Morrison with her novel Beloved had a huge impact on me because I was quite young when I first read that book. And to read a novel about history and what it does to Black bodies was fascinating to me, but also showed me that history is sticky. It stays with you. It marks your body. So that had a profound effect on how I saw the world. John Berger, the theorist, cultural theorist, and writer, for the fact that observation has consequences. So I first read Ways of Seeing when I was in art school in my first year. It was a compulsory text, and it opened my eyes literally to how we look at art and our presence and the context, historical and social context in which you produce art, has an effect on how you observe it and how you see it and view it. When I'm on a break, yes, I do, but while I'm writing, no. Again, I just don't want voices intruding, because I tend to immerse myself in books when I read them, especially novels. And I get a bit worried about that voice coming into my work. So no, I'm very careful not to read when I'm writing, unless it's research, unless I want some hints of what to do next, or a strong voice to show me that, hey, you can write like this. Yes, Tracy Thorn's Rock and Roll Friend. It's a memoir by the singer of Everything But the Girl. And she wrote a memoir about her life in music, but it's more about female friendship and her friendship with the drummer of the Go-Betweens, Lindy Morrison. And it was an exciting book to read, mainly because I love music. But also to show up the double standards in the music industry, and how these women have to stick together to basically survive it. It's quite an extraordinary piece of work. Well, I was grappling whether to do another nonfiction book or a novel, and I've decided to go with a novel. So it's at its beginning stages. I know what it's about and I know the form and the structure of it, but I'm not going to say anything because I don't want it to lose that magic of the first ideas. Thank you, Katie.